Good morning. It's January 31st, 2022. This is To My Liberal Friends, and I'm John Haddo. I want to talk about a subject that I touched on last week, and that is President Biden's decision on who to nominate for the Supreme Court. Way back during the campaign, he made a commitment that he would nominate a black woman if he had a chance to nominate someone. Well, this week, when Stephen Breyer announced his retirement, Biden came out and said, I will only limit my choices to black women. Now, on the face of it, that's discriminatory. I have no problem if the black woman is the most qualified, then appoint her, nominate her. But what he should have done was put together a list of maybe 10 potential nominees and then selected the one he wanted rather than pre-announce that it's only going to be limited to a certain category of people. So what does that say to, say, an Hispanic female who may be well qualified on the bench, or an Asian male, or a white woman, or a white male? It says, do not apply. Now, this kind of racial discrimination, which we're trying to eliminate in this country, it cannot work if we're going to discriminate when it suits our needs, but not when it doesn't. ABC News at another university went out with a poll this week. And 76% of Americans felt this was a poor decision to limit your choices only to black women. Only 23% said they agreed with it. And 53% of Democrats disagreed with it. This nation has a history of racial discrimination. We have made tremendous strides in that going forward. When I was a young boy, my doctor was an African-American doctor, Dr. Allen. From 7th grade through high school and early years of college, he was our family doctor. And I would see him on a fairly regular basis. And I remember some of the conversations. Dr. Allen had gone to Ohio State University, both undergrad and for medical school. And it always bothered him that many of his fellow medical students looked at him and thought, the only reason you're here is because you're black. And he said, that wasn't true. I was one of the top students in the class. Now, he chose to practice his medicine in lower income neighborhoods, which was where I grew up. I remember one conversation. I was home from college and I went up to see him about something I needed to get a prescription for. And one conversation, we were talking and he said, look, I asked him how his boys were doing. His son Jay was a great football player in high school that year. And he said, you know, Jay, I love Jay with all my heart, but I'm really having a hard time with him right now because he signed to play football with Michigan. And that's something that's unforgivable for any Buckeye fan. But Dr. Allen was somebody who believed in true equality. He didn't want somebody looking at him because he was some affirmative action case. So going back to President Biden's nomination, will that black woman he nominates always have an asterisk beside their name, that they really might not have been the best qualified at that given moment in time? Now, they may well have, but there will always be that doubt that they were chosen purely based on their gender and skin color. And that's unfair to that nominee. That nominee should be treated as this, I was the best at that time. And that's why he should have had a complete list, made the choice, and not prejudged to give those people who want to say, which I've already seen one senator said she is, whoever it's nominated, they're being rewarded for affirmative action. And that is unfair to that justice. Now, I truly believe that President Biden should nominate whoever he wants. I also believe that this judge, whoever is nominated, will be confirmed. The Democrats have the 50 votes, and I don't foresee any Democrat crossing the line on this. And so we're back to the nuclear option that the Democrats decried when the Republicans used it after Harry Reid instituted it, and now they're going to use it as well. And that's the way the rules work. In the past, there have been 3 Republicans that have crossed over and been supporting nominees from both Obama and President Biden. Those are Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, and Lindsey Graham. There have also been 2 to 3 Democrats that have crossed over and voted for judges nominated by Trump. And I applaud that. if a nominee is qualified, they should be confirmed. We got to take the politics out of the judicial nomination process. The president, whoever he is, gets to nominate, and certainly you're not agree with his nominees if you're not part of his party. But if they're judicially qualified, they should be confirmed. But I also say, let's get people who have judicial temperament and are not just activists on both sides. Let's get people who are going to look at the law, look at the Constitution at the Supreme Court level, and make their rulings accordingly. And President Biden, I'm sorry, you made a mistake by prejudging who you're going to nominate, because you have caused that nominee irreversible harm, and that's unfortunate because they actually might be the best. This has been John Haddo.